Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing the super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We have a bit to go over today. The rules of this are I'll be talking for about 30 minutes. Then I'll get to everyone's questions. I'll respond to each of them. So whether I get to your question 30 minutes from now or an hour from now, I will respond to your question. It's just going to take a minute. If you want to go and say, hey, I don't have time for that, just give me a $2 super chat. I'll get to your thing right away, and then you can be on your merry way. Don't want to keep you here longer than you have to. But I was just on a Spaces. It was a OMI bull versus bear space, and it started off with me, and I didn't even know it was happening. People were just spamming me like, hey, come in. I was on my way home from somewhere, and I was like, okay, because I literally just got home, so I was like literally in a Chipotle parking lot, like talking and listening to space. So it was me and Mr. Pags at first, and they're saying like, hey, I think it was Naked Whales, like, hey Pags, why you done? Why are you selling everything? You know, and if they would unlock your OMI tomorrow, would you continue buying or would you sell? And then he was just like, oh well, I would sell. And basically the reasoning for it is just like, I bought, up here, and then, kind of went to down here, and then I sold. I locked in that loss at 002, 003, whatever it was. And then, years later, when I thought we were at bottom, I bought a little bit more, and then I get locked up on Bit4X and I lose that. And it's just like, I'm tired. I don't want to, there's only so many times you can get burnt. I was like, okay, I understand that. I understand where it's coming from. The logic, I definitely don't understand, but it reminds me of and I said this in Spaces, it reminds me of a post that I read from like 2019 in a Tesla subreddit where they had said, hey, I think Tesla's a great company, but I went through hell at the dealership. I went through hell at delivery. I went through hell at getting my Tesla fixed because it was, out of the hundreds of thousands or millions of cars that they've made, at the time, he just happened to get one that just wasn't made properly, something with the door, and then some of the light was staying on. Things that just had to be fixed. And he's just like, you have to wait a little bit. I'm just done. I don't want to go through this again. So I know it's a good company. I know whatever. I just don't want to continue having to do this. So I definitely see a lot of parallels between that guy from the Tesla subreddit years ago and Mr. Pags. And I asked him at the end of it, I was like, hey, listen, do you have, last time he was on the stream, he said he was investing in 3 things. I think one of them was XRP. I was like, well, listen, if you want to say what the 2 others are, and then, we measure 12 months from now or at the end of the year, whichever you prefers, what is going to go and outperform what, I would love to do that. But I think he was away from keyboard. He didn't answer. He was just, I think he was still on the space, but he was just doing something else, maybe with family or whatever. So he didn't get to answer that, but I'd be really curious to see if he would want to do that. So if y'all would be like, hey, Randy said this on stream, do you want to have a fun little competition? I think that'd be cool. On top of that, then we had Foster Hill come in, which is great. He was able to go and answer everything very eloquently. He's very, very good speaker. Definitely made the right choice there. And then you had someone that shall not be named that just given Veve and Akomi a bad name, just always trying to talk over everyone. They literally had to mute him. I think they might have kicked him at one point. I really do like debates, despite me being just on here talking to myself or you guys. I really do like debates, and I would love to have like an actual. So with me and Miss Pags, it was all good. It was all chill. Other people came in, kind of just throwing a wrench in the whole situation. But and be advised, guys, I don't that person I had blocked eons ago. If I had not blocked that person already, I would have blocked them again today just for lying. That is just, yeah. So I'm just throwing that out there. On the news for the day, we have, well, there's a lot of news to get into, but let's start with the market at large. Market at large, you have Bitcoin down about 3%, Ethereum down 3.5, BNB down 1.6, Vital State down 3.5, XRP down over 4%, Cardano down 6.7, Doge down 11%. I think with the exception of Doge, OMI's actually down more than everything in the top 10. OMI's down about 8.8% on the day, down to 0.0086. I don't know why it won't let me, but I have a Coinbase lets you put in $1,000 a day via PayPal. I literally have a wire that was sent yesterday of like $7,000, and I was hoping it would hit. It's not going to hit until Monday. So I was like, okay, let me try to do a PayPal, but for whatever reason, Coinbase won't let me put in that $1,000. I would get more only right now. I'll let you guys know. It's not going to be give it like 3 weeks. The price will be unrecognizable in like 3 weeks. Nothing to do with anything that Veve or Comey might announce. I mean, they announced, like, remember in Thor Ragnarok, where Loki's like, why don't you, throw some lightning at her, talking about Hela. He's like, I just hit her with the biggest lightning bolt in the history of lightning bolts and did nothing. Veve just announced that Marvel Comics gave them the keys to their entire comic industry, did nothing for the price. Because people are not understanding that, hey, the more people that get on here and buy the comics are going to go and be, I don't want to say aroused. They're going to be really, oh, hey, Slevin, saying, hi, fam. OMI NFT is ready, do you think? I would say yes, but I would say it's not ready to roll out, if that makes sense. Like, it's ready, they have everything going, but they might want to have, especially after the Marvel Comics debacle, where their initial, what do you call it? Their initial rollout kind of got messed up because not everybody could buy. There was only a small percentage of people that could buy. If everyone could buy at the same time, that likely would have sold out. And that would have been like millions of dollars. But now they kind of fudged up. So they only had, I think, 7 or 8 of those comics sell out. But the secondary market's been crazy with that. But since they had that, little big kind of molehill, that bump in the road, they're likely not going to do OMI to NFT until they are certain that it comes out with very minimal bugs. They do have to, in the next 2 weeks, we will get an article from Akomi, but it is going to be the OMI season 2 OMI staking season 2 reward article. They're going to come out with that first, and then they'll do OMI to NFT article and all that in Q2. I'm really hoping it's April. I'm really hoping it's next month in April. But be advised, it could be May, it could be June. But I really think it's Q2. It could be the end. There's no way they do it at the end of this month. I don't believe they do that at the end of this month, but I do think they get to that in Q2, and I think April. But again, Q2 could be May, could be June. It could be months away. We don't know. But I would say that gets rolled out in the next 6 to 8 weeks is my guess, and maybe even beforehand. Who knows? I mean, and I also think that we get OMI to bronze ticket in Q2 as well, like end of Q2. I don't think it really makes much sense to go on and have that now, just because when people still have a lot of MCP points, there's no reason. Okay, let me top up on MCP, and I'll get to the Star Wars announcement later, but something like the Star Wars announcement is great. OMI's going to go Veve is going to go and gross 153,000 on that. But that announcement is because it's like 15,000 of those that are being sold, and nobody's going to go and do like MCP points. It's going to be the same couple thousand people stacking, buying like dozens of them. So nobody's going to need to spend MCP points on that. There's going to be other things that you're going to want to spend MCP points on, and you're going to have to spend them in order to get them. But right now, there's still so many people that have a bunch of MCP points. Yeah, so many people that have that. There's really no need to roll out OMI to bronze ticket right now. They'll likely wait, several months for that. But again, that's just my opinion. That's just the way I see it. Anyway, what was I? Well, all right. So yeah, Marvel giving Veve the keys to their comic store. People are not realizing that as those people come in, as those people go in and say, hey, I not only like these Marvel comics, but I really like, let's say, the Disney comics, or they like Marvel figurines, or they have DC figurines, whatever it is. they're going to go and they're going to want some of those. And yeah, they could go in and put their money in and buy gems, or they'll be able to use OMI. So you have, I think the goal, what's up, Planet of Empire? When do you think Asia will be onboarded? Just picked up another Ultraman Ace Season 1 for 66 gems. My man, very nice. Well, you have graphic novels, and graphic novels is one of the things that's on there. And the fact that we have one of the that's one of the things that's on there leads me to believe that, okay, it's not just comic books and it's not just Marvel. It's Veve Comics. It's not Marvel Comics. So obviously we're going to get some other brands. I would say Image Comics, and I would say Dark Horse, and I'm really hoping DC comes on sooner rather than later, because they are going to come on at some point. And I'm not saying that because I know anything. There's no inside info. I doubt there's a deal that's done because DC's still on candy. But if I'm the head of DC, if if I'm the head of DC, I'm firing myself, I'm firing everyone, and bringing in someone competent that knows what the heck they're doing. But if I'm being brought on to DC Comics CEO, like the first thing I'm doing is switching board from Candy, and I'm switching over to Veve, because that's where Marvel Comics are, and that's where everyone's going, and that's where money is. They'll make everything. But outside of that, you are going to have graphic novels, and I think you can get manga as well. And with manga comes, comes the weebs, comes the nerds. You're going to have a lot of people in the African American community, because most of my boys that are are African American. A lot of them really like anime. They really like manga. They really like video games. You have the rest of us weebs that literally have Asian tattoos on us, have Dragon Ball Z tattoos on us, and then you have Asians. That's literally where it comes from, and you have a really really large audience there. I mean, Akira Toriyama literally just he died, and you have all of these people on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you are you are absolutely killing it with the videos, with everyone like doing their tribute video. There are a couple of people that Fusion Hod, and they combine their videos to make one giant video with a bunch of people in it, and those are just so special. So just Dragon Ball Z alone, which I think we can get at some point, I don't know how many tens of thousands, if not 100,000 people that brings in. But the manga on top of that, oh my good golly gosh, that's a whole other beast. And especially now with the new comic reader, I like reading comics on Veve was not it was not that good. It made the case for, hey, here's why there's always going to be a place for physical. But now that you have that new reader, and it's a lot easier and a lot more fun to read those comics, you don't have to go and squint. That's a really big step, and I think that once we get manga on, and then we'll go and announce Alibaba, like officially announce Alibaba, and then they'll go on and onboard Asia. I would say that is still several months away though, just because they just launched a music vertical, they just launched a sports vertical, they just launched a lot of really key, really awesome things, and I think that's the focus right now. As much as I would love to get Asia on, they've been talking about that for years. For years, localization. My best guess, as someone that's ran businesses before and invested in this type of business before, it's probably going to take several months for them to do that. So we can keep stacking. And speaking of Asia, I know I said several months, and I'll likely have several months to go and do this, but I want to go and show you guys something that I did last night that you guys might. Oh shoot, sorry about that. Damn, I don't have that. I don't have that. Something I did last night. It's not necessarily because it's Asian, although it is. As y'all know, I love the Fruits Basket. I love the Chinese Zodiac. I'm very in tune with that. I love the story. I love everything. There's also there's Scarcity, and the Lucky Rosso Dragon, the Lucky Rosso Gold Dragon, this guy. I went and I bought him last night, $539. And I didn't do it, so I did it because of Scarcity, and it's just everything combined. Asians love gold. For years, they just went and whenever someone or their family got married, showered them with gold, showered them with all that. It's just a big part of Asia. When something used to break, they didn't throw it out. They would put in liquid gold, hot liquid gold, to piece it back together, to piece the chip pieces back together. That's how much they love it. It's a part of their culture. It's a part of that heritage. It's just so gold, dragon, super scarce. Asia onboarding at some point. That's why I got it. And I also really love the Tokidoki stuff. But yeah, I would give it several months for Asia, in my opinion. Now, again, back to what I keep getting a little counter. I'm sorry, I keep getting a little distracted here, but keep them coming. By the way, people are not realizing that all these people from Marvel, where they sent that email out to their 250,000 monthly active users on Marvel Unlimited, saying like, "Hey, come on and buy new comics on Veve," the same day that they release, which is not something that they've ever had access to before. And Marvel Unlimited is only in the US, or it's only in the West. It might be in Canada. Marvel Comics is a global thing. Thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ask anyone if they knew who Thor was before like 2010, 2011. Ask anyone if they knew who Hawkeye was or Black Widow was before. Like, yeah, people knew Iron Man. People knew Captain America, but they, a lot of these like B and C tier guys, they just didn't know, and that made them super popular. So all of these Marvel people, or the people that want to read Marvel comics and now can do it the day that they're printed, they're going to come onto Veve, and are all of them going to find something that they like and buy? No, but are a large percentage of them going to find something that they like and buy? Yes. And maybe it's a pain to add fiat all the time. I bet that before the end of the year, more than half of the market listings are likely going to be in OMI. So what people aren't seeing, what people are just seeing is like, hey, they rolled out something cool, but they botched up the rollout, and that's all that people are focusing on right now. And it's like I couldn't spend $8 and flip it for 20. That's what people are mad at, because the audience is stupid. Sorry, I'm just re-quoting one of my high school music teachers there, but that hill will have gotten over of. People will forget those transgressions, and then it'll be awesome again. It'll be fun again. And then people will look at the amount of new users that we're getting, the amount of new money that we're getting. And then when OMI to NFT comes out and people are buying and selling this stuff for OMI, a lot of these new users will become OMI users, whether it's to buy, whether it's to sell. And that's what people aren't getting. And then they're going to be interested in MCP. And then they're going to be like, hey, how do I bump up this MCP? How do I become mass collector? Oh, OMI the bronze ticket, burning a bunch of OMI. So yeah, you have a lot of really, really big catalysts that are coming. I mean, they've already happened. It's just that people haven't realized it yet. It's like somebody that gets bit by a zombie, but they don't know it yet. They're like, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, they've just been bitten. They've been infected. They just don't know it yet. I've got a bunch of stuff to go over here today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. All right, the update. Okay, so the update is there's not OMI to NFT, obviously. That'll come at some point. I don't know when. That timeline, like I said, I'll give that at some point in Q2. But if you haven't, definitely go update the app. It's just minor fixes and improvement this time, but you still should definitely do it. There's Veve saying, yep, they identified the root causes of that. Everyone should be able to buy comics now. I was able to buy a couple more, which is great. Yeah, AR features would be great. Unlimited. All right, so I'm going to go over a couple of screenshots I have here from the news. Okay, so again, and once I get over a decent amount of the news over the next 10, 15 minutes, I'll get to the comments. You needed this. Like you need, like, they could have tried to do it by themselves, Marvel Unlimited, but if they didn't have this new app, they didn't have the new reader, that it wouldn't have worked. Create a login. Okay, Google search can now. Yeah, I guess so. Google search can now start indexing the Veve catalog, which is really cool. It's going to give us a lot of data. I don't know when that's going to be viable. Like, okay, there's enough data in here, but that will happen at some point. I mean, you have comic book publishing in the U.S. The industry now. Comic book publishing consists of companies engaged in the publication of obviously of comic books, graphic novels, other related materials, but it's largely dominated by DC and Marvel. Obviously, those are the most well-known brands. They had growth in line with rising consumer spending through the end of 2023, along with increased interest in source material for high-profile comic book adaptations, most prominently the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. So overall, the revenue has been increasing at a rate of 11.5% year over year for the past 5 years, and that's expected to reach about $2 billion through the end of, well, I guess that did it through the end of last year. But you also have I'm sorry, it was valued at 15.5 billion in 2022, projected to reach 26.9 billion by 2032. So it's literally growing by the billions each year, growing at a 5.9% from 2023 to 2032. Comic books are graphical storytelling, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And like I said, this is how we get new users. Can they do other things for new users? Sure. They'll continue to go to Comic-Con San Diego, which, by the way, on July 25th at San Diego Comic-Con, a bunch of us from the Veve fam are going to go to see Deadpool 3. If you haven't, if you're going to be there, contact Veve Fam Bam over on X, and then say like, hey, add me to the group. I want to go see Deadpool 3 at midnight with all of you. It'll be like 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time. Go and ask her, add you to the list. She'll add you to the list, and then, like I said, we'll all go. Listed, yep. Nothing due. OMI, yep. 100%. What is this here? Okay, that's from a group I can't do. This is another thing that I can't do. Yeah, I can't believe DC Comics is on Palm, or DC Comics is on Candy, whatever it is. Meantime, okay, bug. Veve Viral posted the other day, V-Bucks to Fortnite, Roblox to Roblox, OMI to Veve. It needs to get there, and I think it will. I think you need a bit more marketing for it. I mean, once it rolls out the utility of OMI to NFT, I think then it'll be a little bit safer to market, because right now, again, it's a little disconnected. But once that rolls out, that's a major utility, and that will forever and always, not to quote that title of the Power Rangers movie, that will forever and always be, from that point on, OMI will be intrinsically linked to the Veve app. And there are fudders that'd be like, oh, they're abandoning the token because they're retarded, or they're just lying, which is, again, I only block people if they lie. You could tell me to unalive myself every day, I won't block you. I'll only block you if you are lying. And that's just the majority of what fudders do. Not everyone. Just kind of letting y'all know. Just thoughts on that. It's very interesting. How many? Okay, yep. Books would be amazing. I would love books. All right, so here's one of the other things that I wanted to go with these comics that have been selling out and selling for hundreds of dollars. Why are D-tier comics going for dozens of dollars or sometimes hundreds of dollars when A-tier comics on Veve already go far below retail? Again, I'll ask that again. Why are some of these D-tier comics that we got on this launch, 2 days ago, and people were able to buy yesterday or today? Why are they selling above what A-tier comics are selling at on the secondary? Where's that disconnect? What's going on? One word, you all know what it is: scarcity. You have, I guess, rarity and scarcity, they're similar, but they're two different things. You could have something that's rare and not scarce, and you could have something that's scarce and not rare. Meaning, like, you could have, like, you had the other day, everyone's vault value was like $7 million because the rare Feesh from Brock McLaughlin's first set, somebody swept the floor. So it wasn't rare. There's like 1,000 of those, but it was very scarce. There was one on there, and it was listed for 7 million. So that's the definition of like a scarce thing, something that is not rare but scarce. These are rare because they have 980 editions each, whereas most of the comics that we have are like 30,000 editions each. Some have 10,000, some have 5,000, some have 7,500. I think some of the Tarzan ones have like 3,500. But they're not just rare with 980 editions. Not all of these have sold out, and not all of them that have been bought have been delivered. So they're scarce as well. And that, I don't care if it's a D comic. That's what happens. It brings me to something that I've brought up before. Think of a Pokemon. Any Pokemon. Charizard, that's a good Pokemon. Sorry, that's a Ringer reference. So like pick a movie, any movie. Pick a movie. That's a good movie. That's a fun reference. But pick a Pokemon. It doesn't matter what it is, any Pokemon. People that are master collectors, Pokemon masters of the first two generations, will probably say 1 to 200 different Pokemon. There's only 250. You won? No, 250. In the OG first two generations of Pokemon, and likely they would go and either name all the rest before this one, or they would forget. They would name 200 something other more popular Pokemon than Yanma. What's a Yanma? Yanma is a little dragonfly that is one of the most useless Pokemon in the world, outside of maybe eating mosquitoes. Nobody really has him on his team. There's nothing really good about him. Why does his first edition PSA? Why do they make him hollow? I don't know. But why is his first edition PSA 10 hollow going for like $8,000? Why is the floor 12,000 on that now? It's not because he's popular. It's not because people have nostalgia from having him on the team. They don't. He wasn't on Ash's team, Misty's, Brock's, Tracy's, Dawn's. Pick your character. He was not on anybody's team. Nobody had this fool. Why is his first edition PSA 10 card going for $12,000 at the floor when a first edition hollow Pidgeot PSA 10 going for like, less than half that, fraction of that price? I'll tell you. Because of scarcity. Pidgeot in the jungle set was just, and again, first edition only had one print run, but Pidgeot was fairly easy to grade. Yanma has only 14 PSA 10s in the entire world. That is why he's going for 5 figures. And Pidgeot, Ampharos, Entei, legendary birds, Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos, they're not anywhere near Yanma because there's so much supply. And Yanma, again, super scarce at 14 PSA 10. Carlos Castro with the super chat for a doll hair. Do you have a question? Let me know if you have a question, or you're just giving me the thumbs up. Anyway, that's just I have to go. I'm going to talk about this again, like tomorrow. I will say the same exact thing as I said today because that's something that needed to be said. Something else that I want to go over that I said I would go over consistently, but I don't think I have. I don't think I need to. VonDoom.eth. VonDoom.eth is somebody that has 180,000 followers over on X. He knows, or people in crypto in general know 99%. They know more than 99.9% of the rest of the world that isn't in crypto. And then you have Von Doom. What his name is literally VonDoom.eth. He knows what the heck he's doing, and he still got scammed the other day. He lost I think a kid called. All of his important NFTs went into this wallet that he accidentally downloaded, like a scam wallet, sent his stuff there, and his stuff's gone. If somebody whose name is VonDoom.eth has 180,000 followers on X and knows more about this space than 99% of the rest of us, if he can go and get scammed, if he can go and get rugged, what choice does grandma have about having stuff interoperable? Veve is perfect because of that closed ecosystem, and it won't stay that way forever. You will have the option of moving your stuff off of the Veve platform. I'll go over that later, but right now it's perfect for people that want to stay safe. It's perfect for people that want to go and make sure that their investments are fine and they don't need to worry about getting rugged. Anywho, Bitcoin fund pull in money at record pace. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is the fastest ever to reach 10 billion in assets. Got another super chat. Then from Seven says, Randy, director marketing of Veve, who is a great. I don't know who Alex might. I don't think that's his title. There's no way Alex. I don't know what Alex's official title is. I'd be very good at that job, but I would also Fudders would have a field day because they'd be like, oh, they hired Foster from the community. He's a moon boy. They hired Randy now. Randy's a moon boy. They're just hiring all moon boys. Like Fudders would just have a field day with that. I would, but again, despite that, I would do. I mean, what am I doing right now? I've probably brought more money and whales into this ecosystem than anyone, maybe except for like David and Dan, like outside of the team. And obviously everyone plays their part. There's no need to take me away from what I'm doing for free to put me in what I assume is a $60,000 a year job, to put red tape all over me and to tie my hands on things. Hey, you can't talk about this. You can't speculate about this. Like I don't think there's any way that they would hire me. And to be completely honest, if there was nobody available, if David came to me and said, listen, Randy, we're in a bind here. Nobody is applying because whether it's the money's not right, or they have to work too hard, or they have to do whatever it is they have to do. I would do it. I was like, okay, if there's nobody else to do it, I'll do it. But I'm imagining that they probably have an insane line of people out the door. But that's the other thing I do kind of want. One of the things I do like want to go over. And I saw it in Spaces today. But it seems like a bunch of people that have never ran a business before, they like to pontificate on their hill. Oh, this is what's best for this billion-dollar company, even though I've never ran a company in my life. Like that's what they're saying. Even though they've never ran a company in their life, they're trying to tell a successful CEO from prior companies what to do with his billion-dollar company. And again, you could be a business owner and not be successful, and you could also be successful and not be a business owner. Like they don't go hand in hand. Like you could be somebody that had said like, hey, you know what? I did very good in school. I graduated my high school with honors. I was in the top 3%. I went to an Ivy League school, and they got a job. They were successful in that way, and that's great. But to be that entrepreneur, to go like I've seen business owners fail. Like most of the business owners that I used to be in contact with that would apply for like that. Like again, like I know I say not financial advice. I was that financial advisor for those, and am again to certain people, but a lot of those people I would refuse to take on as clients because they just didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to. And I'm not saying everyone has to be like an Elon Musk, but when I see some of my friends say like, hey, I want to try to open this business, I want to try to do this, and I know that they've never done that type of work in their life because they're used to 40-hour weeks and they think that's what it is, but it's not. It is 80 to 100-hour weeks to start, and then you have to go in and you have to hire the best. You have to be a salesman to convince other people to go along this ride of a journey that will likely fail, and they have to do it with you. That's what David did with Dan. David had gone on and just said, hey, Dan, we've been friends for a long time. I have this idea. We're both successful. We both have not just successful in life, but successful entrepreneurs, have ran successful businesses before. I want you on this journey with me. And that's what made Dan co-founder and his COO. That's great. That's perfect. A lot of other people can't do that. Like a lot of other people can't convince them to go on. Maybe they'll ask a VC. Maybe they'll ask a VC for funding. They're like, hey, can you give me funding so I can go and get a co-founder? But any VC worth their salt is not going to do that. So, and again, I'm not saying everyone has to be like Elon that drives himself crazy, sleeping on the factory floor. But when I had two businesses, I slept like 5 hours a night, and the rest of the time I was working. Maybe I was at the gym, but the rest of the time I was just working. Nobody, when you live your whole life of, hey, I have done X and now I'll get Y. I studied, I got good grades. I got good grades, then I go to college. I go to college and I study and I get good grades. I graduate, whatever. I build relationships and I get a job. I pay attention. I do this work as a job and I study, and I'll let other people take care of the business of where I'm at, and I'm just going to lay my head down and do the work. That's fine. You're successful in that way. But to then jump ship to try to become an entrepreneur, especially of this type of business, one, you have to solve a problem, which David and Dan are doing with digital collectibles, and now digital comics. Jesus Christ, they're solving multiple problems at a record pace in this disruptive industry. And if anyone wants to jump that ship, they can try, but it's not going to work the same way. That formula that makes you successful in normal life is not going to make you successful in the entrepreneurship world. Like Mike Tyson always says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. If you think that you're going to go into a business, especially a $1 billion one, and say like, well, I'm just going to get my head down and work hard. No, you have to go in and hire the smartest people that you know, and they're going to come to you with problems that they cannot solve. And you're going to want to work on other problems. You're going to want to do X, Y, and Z, and you're still going to have to, but you can't do it at your leisure. You have to go and put out fires here. Here are problems that people that I've hired that, despite the fact I've given them a lot of autonomy, despite the fact that I've given them a lot of freedom to do their thing and do their work, they have problems that they can't solve, and they're coming to me. Now I have to solve it, and that's why David's working 90, 100 hours a week. Oh God, bless me. So to bring me in as director of marketing when I'm already doing that type of thing, and again, I'll find problems that I don't want that relationship with David where I just come to him all day saying like, hey, we have X, Y, and Z to put out, and then our relationship just becomes negative because I'm just coming to him with all these problems that I'm finding. So I don't want that. If David came to me and said, hey, we need you, I'll do it because he's my friend and I love him. But that's something that I would rather avoid, especially because I truly believe that OMI will make me like probably a multi-millionaire this year. But to be conservative, we'll just say millionaire this year. As I do that, I'm not going to want to do a job for $60,000 a year. That's just that's just my throwing that out there. I know I've been talking 36 minutes. I got other stuff to go on. Okay, update. I don't think I can talk about this. Passion comments. Pausing. All right, so David does want to go and David's working on everything for everybody. It's all y'all need to know. Guests are coming. Okay, the dope. Yep, horses. Okay, yep, off nothing. Shout out to Josh Emmett that in his most recent YouTube video had gone on and wore his OMI homie shirt. Josh Emmett is obviously when 2023 knockout of the year for UFC. He has a gold logo. He's been on the podcast. I will be sparring with him for charity later this year. He is an OMI homie. We love him. Oh God, look at our boy up there. Look at our boy. How good does he look? I can't tell if I want to be him or be up on our. Anyway, Comics and Crypto has reported that the number 1923 genie has sold for $2,000 hairs. I'll repeat, the 1923 genie sold for $2,000 hairs. The 1990, when did Aladdin come out? Was it 94? 92? The 1923, obviously, when Disney had gone on and become established. Aladdin. Oh, in 1992. So the 1992, I think, would likely sell for something like that as well. I think that could sell for thousands. You could do that with Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, whatever you'd want. But Genie, obviously played by the late and great Robin Williams. People have a soft spot in their heart. EV Viral says, OMI to NFT should send 2.5% of our circulating supply OMI to non-circulating supply wallet. Payout fee is 10%, so I wouldn't mind 2.5%. And that percentage can go down with more OMI you stake. Stake $1 million down to 2.25. Stake $2 million down to 2. Oh, bless me. Yeah, if people want to stake 10 million or 100 million, however much they want, yeah, let them stake. Build it and they will stake. Slim Doge is great. What is the frat? Oh, nope, ain't gonna talk about that on stream. Decrypt has 169,000 followers over on X. They said it's a comics reader app, but Veve Official also sells limited edition NFT versions of popular titles from Marvel. The title is Spider-Man and X-Men NFT comic. Hits Ethereum in Veve's new app, says Decrypt. So again, they have 169,000 followers. I will read their article at some point because yeah, that's really cool. Oh, I have to go into. All right, I have to take a look at that. Shout out to Orange Bag Lady. It is her 3rd birthday on Veve, so she's been on Veve for 3 years. Gotta love her. She always host the back of the class, chatting Tuesdays, all that jazz. She's awesome, and we love her. All right, so Captain Veve goes and posts, holy poop on a platter. Some limited edition comics with exclusive redeem code. Some limited edition comics have exclusive redeem codes. These give you access to read the comic via the publisher's website when you sell your limited edition comic on the Veve market. So if you have one and you put it up and it's like, oh, I really wish I could have read that. Some of them have that redemption code. You can still go and read it for free even after you sell. So that's really cool. And David had retweeted that as well. David also retweeted Marvel. That said, Marvel has landed at Veve Official Comics, a new digital platform giving fans a different way to collect and read over 300 Marvel comics. Learn more. They have 18.6 million followers on X. David had requoted it saying, bringing you a new digital experience on Veve. Read and collect what you love. Oh, God, I love him so much. Oh, God, who said this? I don't know who said this thing. Every new user purchasing a limited edition comic automatically becomes a Veve user. This might bring a big shift to the MCP levels and might also be the reason for the recent recalibration. Also, the fact that comics brought on Veve Comics can only be bought via credit card means that new liquidity enters the Veve app. No gems are spent on the initial purchase, which is awesome. Some questions left for me. Maybe I missed the answers already. Will we get MCP waitlist opportunities on the next releases? Will we get MCP for purchasing? Will we be using gems and OMI be an option on buy Veve Comics down the road? I don't know why I cut that off, but that, yeah, some good questions just to answer real quick. I know I've been talking 40 minutes. As soon as I'm done with this, this one thing. MCP waitlist. So you will still have other comics drop on Veve. When we have those grails, we will be able to use MCP points on them. You won't be able to use MCP for purchasing, but you can reserve something and then you can purchase for fiat or gems or, yeah. Will gems and OMI be an option to buy Veve Comics down on the road? I don't believe so. I think it's just going to be fiat. Anyway, I've been talking for 40 minutes, so let's get this bread. Bill Gardner says, first like, what up, Bill Gardner? Bobby says, Randy. Sandbox says, anyone else having update issues with Stacker? That's been an issue for like 2 weeks now. Yeah, that's been an issue. At Sandbox, my Stacker is good, except it doesn't show 3 of my collectibles, but it has never shown those 3, so it's not a recent problem. Cool. Lucas saying, Earth 2. What up, Lucas? Earth 2 for the win. They are going to release their white paper within the next couple of weeks, and we are going to be very, very happy. And then they're going to actually launch their token over on, well, I don't know what exchange. It's probably going to be a DEX, and they'll launch their token at or around the halving. They're waiting for that. I imagine Republic is waiting for that, and I'd say Veve, yeah, or Akomi, they were on BitGet now, but I think we'll get more exchanges at or around the halving or a bit after. Bigback says that X Spaces was heated, bro. That person, I like I said, I literally blocked that person long ago for lying, and I don't think that person has ever said anything. I want to say positive. I don't mean that they're singing Veve's praises. You don't need to do that, but they've never said anything that anyone could learn something from. So and again, blocked them for lying, and they lied again today. So yeah, Veve Zombie says E2 straight fire to the moon. Well, says I'm tired of buying OMI. Are you like Justin Timberlake in that song from like 2000? Like, man, I'm tired of singing. Man, I'm tired of buying OMI. I don't know what to tell you. You stop buying, and if you're tired, or you either believe in it and keep buying, or you don't believe in it and you stop buying. Nobody's making you buy. You don't need to buy. Nobody needs to buy anymore if they don't want to. But if they do want to, the option's there. I'm buying, and Wales are buying. Veve Zombie is laughing. Vladimir Columbus saying, ready, Randy? How in the world is OMI down, even though the whole crypto... Yeah, I just farted, sorry. Yes, the whole crypto market is down, so that is why OMI is down. Shouldn't OMI, with all the good news, at least hold its price? Or no? Oh, I mean... Crypto in general is filled with newbie investors, but Veve and OMI holders and investors, they are very, very new to investing, and they just don't know how to calculate catalysts, and they just don't know, like, all of what we have is not priced in, especially the Veve Comics, despite the fact that they announced it. It's here. It's not like a Comey saying, hey, our priority is exchanges. Our priority is utility for the token and accessibility to the token. Yeah, they got an exchange, which is cool. Didn't really do much for the price, but a Comey can go and say what they're doing till they're blue in the face. Until people go and see it, they're not really going to believe it at that point. They're not going to believe it until they go and see it. But Veve straight up went and said, "Hey, this is the biggest move that anyone's made in the comic book industry in years," and the people just people in Veve and Comey don't really know what that means yet, and they will. And when I don't know what it's going to take. It might take give me 3 weeks on it, but it might take some whales coming in and being like, "Hey, y'all are stupid. These prices are stupid." And the same way that Twisted Sister said, "We're not going to take it. We're not going to sit and sleep on these prices." Give me 3 weeks on that. Uzam said, "Everybody that knows about the good news already has their bags packed." Agreed. And just, "Hey fam, what up?" Sketchlab says, "Here to say hi, listen, and hit the like." Oh, thanks, Sketchlab. Also, I mean that. Well, everybody that knows what the good news means has their bags packed. You can listen to good news and not know how to interpret, or you can listen to news and not know if it's good or bad. You could listen to this news over the past couple days and think like, "Oh, okay, well, this sounds good," but people saying they botched it up, and people are being really negative, and if they don't know who to listen to. If there's a book called 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, and one of the lines in that book is, "A good leader knows to only listen to half of what he hears, but a discerned leader knows which half to believe." I'll repeat that. In the book 21 Dispensable Qualities of a Leader, or Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, there's a line that says, "A good leader will only listen to half of what he believes, but a discerned leader knows which half to believe." If you're somebody that is kind of new to this and you don't know who to listen to, some of those minority negative voices do ring loud, and that person might think, "Okay, these people are saying it's negative. These people are," and that just might be who they listen to. If you have somebody with a little bit of experience in investing or a little experience in this type of project at all, they might be like, "Okay, it's a good catalyst, but nobody realizes it yet, and that bump is still to come." So you have a couple different scenarios there. What's up, Energy? Let's get to that game. Doctor Strange, what's going on, fam? Doctor Strange, how you doing? Ben Robinson says, "Randy, I'm still holding the faith with OMI, but it would be nice if we could see some positive movement towards 002, 003. Give me 3 weeks on that, Ben. Give me 3 weeks. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll all see." Herberto Espinoza. So what 2025 OMI price prediction for OMI? January 2025? I don't know, like 1 to 2 cents. April of 2025? 6 cents? At the height of the bull market in 2025, I think OMI gets to 8 to 10 cents. Now, obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor to you guys. I am to others, but not to y'all. That is, I can be if you want me to. So that would be, I would say, 8 to 10 cents at the height of the bull market, whenever that is. Yeah, and that could be January, or we could be in a super cycle, and that could be November of next year. Nobody knows. We ain't got that crystal ball. We're not Baba from Dragon Ball Z. We don't have that crystal ball. So it says, "Hi, Pam. I'm going to NFT is ready. Thank you for the super chat, and I think we get that next quarter in Q2. Richard Sam says, "We have we first have Veve Digital Collectibles, then Veve Comics, hopefully soon Veve Verse. Do you think we will have Veve games in the future?" Yes. But gamification is likely not going to come until next year. We will have Veve Verse this year. With the luck of God, we will have IP branded worlds, and then customizable avatars, and then next year we'll have gamification. I says, "Are you going to continue buying OMI forever?" If it's down here, sure. It's not going to be down here forever, though. I think after the next 3 weeks, I likely won't buy any more OMI unless a big thing happens. But I would say, just because I have taxes to pay next month. And by that point, after that, it'll be possibly really high. Planet Vampire, thank you for super chat saying, "When do you think Asia will be onboarded?" Just pick up another Ultraman A Season 1, 66 gems. So just to go over that again, I would give it several months. Again, they just launched music and they just launched a sports vertical. Their attention right now is on those and on probably a couple of other things. So I would give it several months, maybe towards the end of the year. Wes says Chavez hair looking thicker. Thanks, man. Always good to hear. Sweet Chow says, hey Randy. First, thank you for being the beacon, brother. I appreciate all your videos and insights. Off topic thoughts on Tyson versus Paul. So Mike Tyson said the other day that he didn't do this for the money, although I'm sure that was definitely a factor. He said that he did this to end his career. And I've seen recent training videos of this man. I am certain that if he hits, Paul's never gotten hit by anyone like Mike Tyson. And there was I don't know if Logan Paul knew that this phone call was being recorded, but Jake had given Logan a call. They're like, hey, I just kind of want to know like your thoughts, your advice on this. Because Logan's obviously fought, he fought a professional fighter, Mayweather, and obviously Mayweather kind of carried him a little bit. And even though Logan Paul lasted, Mayweather could have really ended that really whenever he wants, despite Mayweather not having a lot of punching power. He told Jake, he's like, listen, I'm going to pray for you, brother. You're not telling your brother that you're going to pray for him unless he's facing a foe that is so, like, again, Tyson, let me go and wind these clocks back for a little while. I'm someone that you know most of me on here. Like I give most of who I am here to you guys. There is a part of me that, and it gets small. It's gotten smaller over time. But there's a part of me that loves violence, and I love sparring people. I love hitting people. I love bringing that kinetic energy from my foot to my hip to my shoulder through my fist and connecting with someone's ribs and watching them squirm. And I love that feeling that you get when they're trying to punch you and you're dodging and weaving, and it's great. And there's I don't know what that's called. It's a very probably small percentage of people that enjoy that. Mike Tyson is not only in that small percentage of people, but he has that to the eighth power, the 12th power. If that is X, he is X. He is X to the 13th power, where he has that. Where I'm certain that he doesn't just enjoy it. I think he needs that, and he doesn't just enjoy it a little bit. He enjoys it a lot. I think he actually wants to go and like break his skull. He was in an interview. It was a couple years ago, where he's like, listen, after I don't want to fight anymore because I know if I fight, the beef is coming out and then hell's gonna come with him. And like he was scared. He was like literally crying at the thought that he was gonna come out again and just hell was coming with him. So the thoughts on that, I will put however much expendable capital I have on Tyson. And if he doesn't win, it's likely a fix. Or maybe like a rematch or something. But this is something that I've been in that world. Like Ariel from Mermaid, like, I want to be part of that world. I was in that world. I still am to a degree. That is like, I don't know what the betting odds are going to be on that, but whatever it is, I'm putting all the expendable capital on Tyson for that, because that's going to be a quick flip. Let me go and turn on the light for y'all here. Get a little dark. Bobby going on saying, Randy, the price of OMI didn't move on the Marvel Comics announcement because the OMI token currently has no utility. Cheaper to buy comics to get the MCP points. When you say it's cheaper to buy comics to get MCP points, what do you mean? Like in comparison to what? Like in comparison to, is it cheaper to buy a rare comic for $6 to get like 2 MCP points per day than it is to get 1 million OMI? Yes, it is. But if you're comparing it like an ROI, like I'm not sure what you mean with that, but yes, they need a little bit more utility, and they need marketing, and they need liquidity for the token. They currently don't have any of that, but they will, and that is like, remember when Spinelli from Recess was talking to Miss Finster about liking boys, and she's like, I'm Spinelli. I don't like boys. And Miss Finster says, listen, kid, I was young once too, and I thought I would never like boys either. But you know what? I do like boys, and all of these kids are gonna like all these girls are gonna like boys, and all of the boys are gonna like girls. And guess what, Spinelli? It's coming a lot sooner than they think. When I go and I talk about OMI utility, yeah, we have OMI staking for bronze tickets. We have OMI staking for MCP points, but that real utility is coming, and it's coming a lot sooner than people think. People have this thing called recency bias where they think what has happened recently or in the past will continue to happen. So they think, okay, well, we haven't had it for a while, so we're just going to continue not having it, and we're never going to get it. And that is wrong, and that's why most people don't make it in crypto. That will change, and when it does, big sentiment will change. And when we start going and having OMI to bronze tickets, and we have burning from the circulating supply, that will all change. It's going to do a 180. Y'all won't even know. It's going to be insane. And Almeida says, Hughes set pumping again. Yeah, the Hughes set is, tell me. I couldn't. I keep thinking that wire is going to hit from Coinbase, and it's a Saturday. I know it's not. Dan Chabel says people are talking about Randy Chavez, I guess, in that space. Well, I'm on live right now, so they can they can do what they want. So Naked Whale posted a poll that has 60 votes. It says, based on what you heard in the OMI debate space, are you more or less likely to buy OMI? 41%, again, is out of the 60 people that answered. 41% said more likely. So that's 24 people, and then let's say 40%, and then 60% of people said less likely. So you have 36 people that say they're less likely to buy OMI after that debate. I don't know how. Their mind was made up already going into that, or again, they can't see the forest for the trees are in the way. Just my opinion. Dog was that we need for OMI besides us degens. Oh yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be buying and selling with OMI. It's just going to take a little bit. President 420 says Veve made a great move creating Veve Comics, and the Scarcity with a total of 1,000 editions and only 40 secret rares makes the modern digital comic valuable. Brilliant. Yes, if we can quote the Guinness guys from 2005, brilliant. Wes says, two things I highly disagree with you is that DC Comics coming to Veve and Ethereum ETFs coming with May. That's fine. We could agree to disagree. Bill Gardner says, what up, fam? Yeah, what up, Bill? Ms. Planet Profit, give me those eyes. What up? Carlos Castro, give me that $1 super chat. Gotta love it when I get flooded with the $1 super chats. Meow, meow, meow. Slevin says, Randy, director of marketing. I don't know. If David wants me to do it, I'll do it. I'd rather not do it just because it's likely not going to be a lot of money, and I feel like I'm already doing that job anyway. I mean, if you just want to hand me a paycheck, that's fine. Say, hey, continue doing what you're doing. That's cool. Obviously, with becoming director of marketing, I would have a lot more power to influence what Veve does. I would say, okay, we haven't been doing this. We haven't been doing X, Y, and Z. We're going to start doing X, Y, and Z because that's how we get more people. I'd be very good at that job. I think Ray Fixie has you beat in terms of money brought into the ecosystem, but that's probably it. Well, I don't mean that I personally have brought. Oh yeah, no, he brought a lot of people. He convinced a lot of people to buy Superman at like $8,000 and buy prides at that certain level. So yeah, he brought a lot of money in. Good point. Flickerbit says, "What up, Randy? Everyone smash that like button." What's up, Flickerbit? President Fortuna Stormtroopers. Oh yeah. Veve's gonna go and gross $153,000 on that next Sunday, and that's gonna be glorious. I can't wait. I cannot heckin' wait. Dirk Latte says, "Hi there, Randy." Hello, Dirk Latte. Dating Decoder is going out and saying, "Haven't been in here a while. How's Earth 2? I was doing pretty well. It's doing a lot better than most other metaverse. It's doing a lot better than any other metaverse platform. has 150,000 monthly active users. It has started selling skins, making another, like let's say like 20,000 a week, give or take. Maybe a little bit more, 30,000 a week. Is that a lot? No, but is it a start? Yes. The previews on their videos always get hundreds of thousands of views. One or two even has 1 million. They will go and release their white paper in the next couple weeks, and then they will go and get listed on an exchange in Q2. So yeah. Whereas says Earth 2 side droids are selling like crazy because peeps still trying to get cheap essence. They are. I'm still confused how side droids work. How do you make them? I think Pacey has like a 45-second video on it. I honestly don't know. But you go in and you use the side droids to raid other properties and steal their essence. The nose, any E2 news? There likely is minute news that I just haven't gone over, but for the most part, I'll let you guys know when the big stuff comes. White paper, listing, and all that. Alar says 2.5 essence to build them, and they come random on property. Nice. It says when you can send them out to raid people's properties for ether. Yeah, that's a big one. Pretty damn 420. Thank you for being a member. Says Tyson's going to destroy Jake Paul. Same. Dave Dakota says, how do you collect side droids from property? I don't even know. How does Earth 2 content creator section work? What's that for? I'm literally the biggest one, and I don't even know. I don't. I don't need it. I'm literally just going to go and pump the crap out of essence. Essence will go and get listed likely in May, and by that point, OMI will be really high, and I will possibly go in and take some OMI, just pump the crap out of essence if it's low enough, and then I'll just arbitrage. That's going to be insane. The no Q says, will you do a live soon deep dive on essence and wallet stuff? When it comes out, when the white paper does, yes, and then again when we get on exchanges. The Lord says you have to make videos for E2 to get yellow energy. I've made over 300. I've made more videos for Earth 2 than likely the rest of the influencers combined. Regardless of the collect side droids. Yeah. Then it goes, what's yellow energy for? Regardless says there's a guy named Pacey who makes good short videos. Yep. How to do all that stuff. Yep, he does. Better to make and sell side droids to get essence from your properties. Well, it seems like it doesn't take too much. I don't know how much essence you have. I have like 40,000 essence, so it's not going to take much for me to make a bunch of side droids. It's probably side droids is the easiest place because to get essence from your properties, you have to buy properties. You have to do that. I think essence, or I think getting the side droids to get the essence for you, that's better. Big Bad says, Randy, they need to double the MCP points for staking 10 million OMI token for staking 10 million OMI tokens. Serious utility. I don't think they do. I think there'll be other incentives to go and stake, and not just for MCP points. Again, you're getting them from bronze tickets, and there'll likely be other things as well. You'll see what I'm talking about in a few months, probably. Bogart says, right now, all we know is it's convertible into Essence, but the other utilities we don't know yet. Hey, guy says, wait, what about Ethereum NFTs on Veve? You mean like bring them into the Veveverse? Or you mean like, yeah, in the Veve, yeah, anything can come into the Veveverse. That's fine. Bogart says, I do both, raid and gain from properties. Very nice. Says it's quite obvious the team wants OMI to boom with the Foster hire. This channel and Foster are the biggest public advocates for OMI. Buy OMI before it's too late. Oh ho ho, nice words. Says Randy, did you crunch the money numbers for Veve after the Veve comic opening? We don't know how many are, because it'll say sold out on the app, or it'll say sold out if you want to go buy something. But it won't on the app. On the app, it'll say there's still like 400 comics left. And then when you go to buy the comics, it'll say sold out. So we really don't know how many are sold out or how many are left to be delivered and all that. I will once we get good numbers on it. Dave Dakota says, what's up with the tier 3 territory voting? I have no idea. I would say go in the Earth 2 Discord and take a look there. There's usually some good info there. Or ask Crypto Aria or ask Pacey. They're good peeps. Pink Band says, not sure what to think about these new comic partnership. Low editions is a problem for the market. Why is it a problem for the market? I think it's really good. Again, you're bringing Veve's getting a lot of money, and they're going, and people are paying those gems, and this is really good. This is really exciting. I don't see this as a problem at all. I'm very, very bullish on it. Okay, hiccups. Well, I've been going on for about an hour now. I answered the comments. Yeah, I got to bounce. Everyone, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for coming by. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. Comment, like, and subscribing. Good for the YouTube algorithm. Oh, God. What's my outro going to be? Volare. Oh, did I get one of the Lamborghinis? I did. I did get one of the Lamborghinis. Cantare. Oh,